Anthony again. From fluffy wombats to real-life unicorns, here are 10 fascinating, threatened, endangered, and nearly extinct animals that you may have never heard of. Number 10. Javan Rhinoceros. Rhinos are one of the world's more well-known endangered species, with the most at-risk species out of the 5 that exist being the lesser-known Javan Rhinoceros. The Javan Rhino was once prevalent across parts of Southeast Asia, but with Vietnam's last Javan Rhino being poached in 2010, the only known remaining ones all live in, and I hope I get this right, Ujung Kulon National Park in Java, Indonesia. They are very similar in appearance to the closely related greater one-horned rhino and are a dusky gray color with one horn that grows up to 10 inches long. The loose folds over their skin make them look like they have armor plating, and they are thought to live for somewhere between 30 and 40 years. With only about 60 Javan rhinos left in the world and none in captivity, their future survival depends on park rangers' ability to protect them from the ever-present threat of poachers who hunt them for their valuable horns, which are a lucrative commodity in traditional medicine for their supposed medicinal properties. Number 9. Ocean quahog. The ocean quahog is a type of large aquatic mollusk called a bivalve that grows up to 4 inches tall. Large populations can be found in the waters around Iceland, but ocean quahogs live buried beneath the seabed all across the Atlantic Ocean. They're one of the longest known living creatures on our planet, with one specimen caught in 2006, nicknamed Ming the Clam, estimated to be around 507 years old. Despite their longevity, ocean quahogs' numbers are declining. While this is the case for concern, the situation has not grown dire just yet. Ocean quahogs cannot tolerate extensive fishing due to their low reproduction levels, but overfishing is not currently a problem. According to the NOAA Fisheries website, monitoring their numbers as well as fishing levels are imperative for ensuring the ocean quahog's survival, especially since its population is decreasing. Number 8. Vaquita. The Vaquita, a small porpoise species, was discovered in 1958. It's the world's rarest marine mammal and is teetering dangerously close on the brink of extinction, with just an estimated handful left. Vaquitas are endemic to the Gulf of California off the Mexican coast, where large numbers once gathered, but the population has severely fallen to the point where seeing one now is almost unheard of. A 1997 study estimated the surviving population at around 600. The number dropped to 100 in a similar survey in 2014, and today there are between 6 and 22 vaquitas left. Scientists are doing everything in their power to try and save the vaquita, but with so few specimens left, the deck is stacked disappointingly against them. The vaquita's nearly depleted status results mainly from ending up as a bycatch in fishing nets, particularly those intended to catch a rare fish called a totuaba. This specific type of fishing has caused greater destruction to the vaquita's numbers than any other factor threatening the species. Despite the Mexican government's attempts to limit the totuaba fishing for this reason, even banning the use of gill nets in 2015 for 2 years and setting up wildlife refuges. Unfortunately, the porpoise has not yet started showing signs of recovery and is still in ever-present danger due to the illegal fishing industry, which the law has failed to stop. Number 7. Iberian Lynx. Native to the Iberian Peninsula of southwest Europe, the Iberian lynx is the most endangered of all feline species. These cats once roamed the Mediterranean forests of Spain and Portugal, but thanks to poaching, habitat destruction, and reductions in the population of rabbits that serve as their main food source, these majestic creatures have fallen sharply in number. They are easily recognizable in the area if you are lucky enough to see one, as they are heavily spotted, with long legs and a short tail with a black tip. Iberian lynxes have a tawny coat and a beard around their faces, as well as black tufts on their ears. In 2002, it was estimated that there were 100 Iberian lynxes left in the wild at most, and conservationists took drastic action to try sparing them from extinction. In an unexpectedly fortunate turn for the species, those efforts have proven worthwhile. The cats are bred in captivity and released in the wild, with the recent population counts indicating that there are now over 300 throughout their range. Despite these successes, the Iberian lynx remains at the precipice of extinction, and conservation efforts must continue if they are to survive the next decade. Number 6. Northern Hairy-Nosed Wombat. Wombats are the largest known burrowing herbivorous mammals, and all three species are facing survival challenges as a result of human activity. The most at-risk species is the northern hairy-nosed wombat, one of the world's rarest mammals. Much larger than you would probably expect, unless you're already familiar with them, wombats have a stocky build, short tail, and powerful legs with strong claws that are ideal for digging. With a large head and pointy eyes, the hairy-nosed wombat gets its name from the clumps of whiskers that protrude from the sides of its nostrils. This unusual creature was once found across a wide range of Australia as recently as 100 years ago, from New South Wales to Queensland. Today, though, their numbers are severely declining and are limited to a small part of the Epping Forest National Park in Queensland, where approximately 230 specimens are believed to live. There are numerous reasons why the northern hairy-nosed wombat is struggling to survive, including its already small population numbers to begin with, the risk of flooding, droughts, and wildfire, which have become more frequent in recent years, reduced habitat resulting from deforestation, and the competition for food with the eastern grey kangaroo. There are so many amazing animals that have gone extinct or are on the edge of extinction. If you could bring back just one species of these animals, which would it be? Let me know down in the comments below. Number 5. Dama Gazelle. The Dama Gazelle is the largest of all gazelle species and once existed in vast numbers across the arid and semi-arid regions of the Sahara, mainly in Chad and Sudan. They are about 3 feet tall at their shoulders and have a reddish-brown body and a white head, rump, and underside. Both males and females have curved horns. In the past century, the Dama Gazelle's population numbers have deteriorated as a result of numerous wars in the region, an enlarging desert, overhunting, the destruction of their habitats, and increased human activity in livestock production. Consequently, the once common sight of gazelles in the area is now a rarity. Very little is known about the life cycles of these creatures in the wild, which complicates conservation efforts. Most of what we know of them comes from observing captive specimens which, if the current decline continues, will sadly be the only place where future generations can witness these animals firsthand. Number 4. Chinese alligator. Also called the Yangtze alligator, the Chinese alligator is one of the only 2 known alligator species in the world. It's a lot smaller than its counterpart, the American alligator, with a more robust head and a snout that tapers up and turns up at the end. The Chinese alligator's blunt teeth are ideal for crushing the shelled animals it feeds on, like clams and snails. An adult can grow up to 6.5 feet long, but unlike American alligators, they never attack humans. Books dating back to over 2,000 years ago refer to these creatures as harmless. Chinese alligators are thought to have once been prevalent along the entire Yangtze River and is the possible inspiration for the Chinese dragon, as the Chinese call them Yao Lung, which means dragon. Unlike the American alligator, this species is majorly threatened with extinction, mainly due to habitat loss. What were once swamplands and marshes are now paddy fields, and a large number of Chinese alligators have been killed by farmers protecting their livestock, as well as the seepage of agricultural chemicals into their nearby water sources. There are now only thought to be around 130 remaining specimens in the wild, all of which are contained to small areas around the low bend of the Yangtze River. Attempts are underway to preserve the species, but as long as humans continue altering and stealing their environment, the recovery will be slow and difficult at best. Number 3. The Pied Tamarin. The pied or barefaced tamarin is native to the Amazon basin and inhabits rainforests, swampy regions, and even urban environments. They are identifiable by their black thick fur, which is white on their upper body and forelimbs and brown on their lower half and rear limbs, as well as the complete lack of fur on their black heads. Pied tamarins are also different from other New World monkeys due to their small size and modified claws. They were once found all over the region, but are now limited to small areas of degraded forests and housing estates near the Brazilian cities of Manaus. Designated as critically endangered, they are threatened by deforestation, urban growth, increased cattle ranching, and competition against the larger golden-haired tamarin for habitat. Number 2. The Saola. With a name meaning spindle horns in Vietnamese, the Saola is often affectionately called the Asian unicorn due to its unique appearance and rarity. Saolas were first identified in Vietnam in 1992 when a skull with unusually straight horns was seen in the home of a hunter, leading to the first discovery of a new mammal in over 50 years. Since then, scientists have documented Saola in the wild just 4 times, and they know little about the obscure creature. Saola are one of the world's most endangered large animal species, being found only in the Annamite Mountains in Laos and Vietnam. Their striking features, including long, virtually straight horns and distinct white head markings, have made them a prized trophy for hunters. This is the largest contributor to their critically endangered status, and as a result of commercial poaching rather than subsistence hunting by local communities. If the Saola continues falling victim to hunters, the outlook for its future is bound to become more grim. Inadequate conservation efforts until recent times, along with the natural effects of being a small population, have also impacted the Saola's dwindling population. Number 1. The Pangolin. Pangolins are the world's only mammal that are covered in scales, and their tongues can be longer than their bodies. There are 8 distinct species across Asia and Africa, and sadly, every single one is at imminent risk of extinction due to the creature's status as the world's most heavily trafficked animal. Experts admittedly know little about pangolins, whose lifespans are thought to last around 20 years. When in danger, they curl up into balls that make it difficult for even lions and tigers to pierce through, thanks to the pangolin's tough scales which act as a protective shell. They also emit a noxious-smelling acid, similar to skunks, to deter predators. Humans are the biggest threat to pangolins, however, who are captured and sold to the Chinese and Vietnamese wildlife trades for their valuable meat and scales. Some estimates suggest as many as 200,000 pangolins are traded each year, causing their numbers to rapidly drop, almost to the point of wiping them from existence. Efforts are underway to preserve pangolins, but unless humans change their ways, this truly unique mammal's time on Earth will soon be up. To learn more about what you can do to help, check out endangered.org. You can make the difference. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Epic Wildlife for more, and I'll see you in the next video.